Do you ever get worried about sales rejection? The reality is that all of the fear and discomfort that we have around sales rejection goes back to when we were just a little kid and we asked that first person out on a date when we were 6 or 7 years old, and maybe their response wasn't what we'd hoped. And as a result, we have had such a strong fear of rejection. And quite frankly, this goes back to the archaic days when humans being rejected by another tribe meant war. But nowadays, rejection is all in our head. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome sales rejection. Check it out. Number one, they're never rejecting you. When prospects say no, or even push back really hard, or even hang up on us, they're not doing that to us as a human. They're not doing it to Mark Wayshack. What they're doing it to is the role that we're playing. They are doing it to the company that we represent. They're doing it to the product or service that we sell. But it is not rejecting us as a person, as a human being. So when we get that tough blow off, just remember what they're doing that to has nothing to do with you as a person. And it has everything to do with what's going on in their world right now, or the strategy or tactics that we used in order to try to engage them in a conversation. Taking that pressure off of us to recognize that if we do get a hard rejection where someone slams the phone down on us or they immediately end the Zoom call, they're not doing that to us as a person. What really is happening is whatever happened, maybe it's something going on in their life, or maybe it's something that happened in the selling situation, didn't go as they liked, and so they ultimately ended the conversation. That's something that we can learn from though, rather than taking it personally. Number two, jump into the mud. This all goes back to when I was playing Pop Warner football as a 12-year-old kid outside of Boston in November, and it's pouring rain and freezing cold. No one wanted to start practicing. No one wanted to start playing because it was so cold and wet, and no one wanted to do it. But what would happen is the coach would say, everyone just go run, slide, and jump in the mud. And we would do that, and then suddenly we'd be like, oh, you know what? It's not that bad. And then we'd start practice, or we'd start playing, and we'd have a great time. And the same thing is true for sales. So often we're holding back because we're just afraid of getting that initial rejection that we don't give everything we have. And so what I challenge you to do is just jump in the mud. If you've got some prospecting calls to make, just get going. Take that first hit and just run with it. It's not that bad. Even if they hang up or they tell you, no, you know what, this isn't a good time, and they end the call, that's okay. Or if you're on a discovery call and something weird happens, just jump into the mud and recognize that it's never as bad as we think it's going to be. So the sooner you are ready to just enjoy the fact that, you know what, it's a cold, rainy day in November and I've got to get wet and I got to just jump in, the sooner we get to that, the sooner we can start to enjoy the process and not be so worried that something's going to go wrong. Number three, know your process. Having a sales process is so key to ultimately overcoming sales rejection, because if we know we have a process that we trust, we can start to troubleshoot where the sale might have gone wrong. And so what we see so often is that when people are just winging it, when they're making it up as they go, and they have no process, the only thing they can turn to when they get that tough sales rejection is themselves. And they start to say, you know what, I'm not good at this, or I'm just bad at this. And as a result, they don't last long in the field of sales. But by having a process, by knowing exactly what you need to do step by step, what questions to ask, how to start the conversation, all of that, you take out the personal side of that rejection. And now we can start to dissect what we could have done better and what we can do better in the future. Number four, they can't hurt you. This is such an important concept when it comes to overcoming sales rejection. Prospects cannot and will not hurt you. I've been in sales for over 20 years and I've worked with thousands of sales reps, and I've never heard one story ever once where a salesperson was physically injured in the process of making a sale. Now, maybe they got in a car accident along the way, sure, that's actually dangerous. Driving your car is the most dangerous thing you can do on the way to a sales call. But the actual sales call or the sales meeting itself is not dangerous. And if you're making prospecting calls, that's not dangerous either. They can't hurt you. They're not going to attack you. They're not going to do anything to you. The worst thing they can do is be a little snippy and cranky. And you know what? Just move on if it doesn't go well, learn from it, and be better next time. Number 5, be prepared with contingencies. This is something I talk about all the time when it comes to making prospecting calls, but it's also true with any type of selling situation. People are pretty predictable. Prospects behave pretty predictably in selling situations. And there are typically just a couple of things that prospects do where they start to push back or where things tend to go off the rails. And the more you're prepared for those situations with potential contingencies to get the train back on the track and moving forward, the better off you'll be. So be prepared with contingencies. When a prospect gets on the phone with you and they say, you know what, actually this isn't a good time. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? Be prepared. Write it out. Script it out. Have it ready to go. The more you're prepared with all contingencies, the better off you'll be. In our community, every single aspect of selling is scripted out and there are contingencies everywhere along the way. And that's what keeps the sale moving forward. So there is exactly how to overcome sales rejection. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face. It should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.